Hey guys, I'm Mike, he's Jay. Welcome back to We Watch Movie. Today we're reviewing Escape Plan.
Oh my god.
Do you have one?
I should have.
You're gonna need one. Mine was asleep.
Yeah, I walked into the theater expecting a great, badass, awesome movie with Schwarzenegger and Stallone in it, and what I got was a shitty, nasty, greasy sandwich and a dirty ashtray. It smelled really bad, and I didn't have an escape plan. There was the exit, and I didn't take it. I should have taken it.
Well, there was, the thing is that it's Stallone and Schwarzenegger on screen for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Not for the first time ever,
And to
because
get,
the
like,
Expendables,
yeah.
but like a whole movie of those two. It was originally called The Tomb, and I
Yeah.
was like, that looks amazing, that looks badass.
Yeah.
Even reading the previews for it, even the shitty ones, I was like, sounds like something I'll like. You know, it's like throwback 80s action movies. We love them. We want them to stick around. We want them to keep making more. But Bullet to the Head kind of sucked. That was just kind of like...
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think Stallone is really trying to hang on to his glory days. I mean, the motherfucker's had plastic surgery all up in his ass. He just needs to let it go. I mean, you're not going to get it back. Even though he's a great and amazing actor, I'm always going to have love for him. Love for you, dog. But it's just not, it just doesn't have any more. The difference is with him and Schwarzenegger at least gets it. He gets like, he's older now. No one's really going to take him serious as much as a badass as he once was. So he's kind of funny. I mean, he's making all these badass movements and sayings, but he knows it's kind of funny. He's kind of poking fun at himself. Stallone is actually trying to be badass. He's actually trying to be awesome.
And that's the thing. He does the same thing in the Expendables. He kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. He just seems so like egotistical in like all of his movies.
I bet he is in
like,
real life.
Yeah, I mean Rocky. He's also just got that underdog thing to him always.
Yeah.
But in these movies, it's like he puts these scenes in there for himself, like just to make himself look badass.
Yeah, it's like there was like every 5 minutes when he was on screen, it would be like explosion, like 18 explosions behind him. And then there'd be, I know he had something to do with that. He's like, I want 6 explosions behind me when I'm walking away. Then pull the camera out. And then get a wide angle, and then have music come in, and then 2 more explosions as I'm walking.
And then
away.
I'm going to say something, but the thing is, that's fine when Arnold Schwarzenegger does it, because he has like one-liners and it's cheesy. They're meant to be cheesy, and they work. That's what makes them so funny. But when Stallone does it, it's just kind of like a bad Law and Order joke. I mean, I don't know. It's just as funny. And I love Stallone. I mean, I fucking love Stallone. It's Stallone.
I know it's going to. Most people are going to think we're hating him out. I mean, Stallone is one of the absolute favorites of all time. But the thing is, at some point, like I said, you just got to realize you're not going to have that same badassness that you once possessed, and just have fun with it now.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. The cheesy badassness is awesome. Like they're like just like I know what I am and I'm doing whatever. But Stallone's in these cheesy movies, and it's like he wants to be like Jason Statham.
Yeah,
but it's like you're Stallone. You know?
It's like that old 50-year-old guy that shows up with his Letterman jacket from high school. It's like I threw quarterback.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Stallone is a better action star than Jason Statham any day of the week.
But but Jason Statham is the guy that could take it over. I mean, Jason Statham still.
He's young and he's always got that scowl and he's just meant to be serious.
Yeah.
Stallone, it's like he's not as funny as Schwarzenegger, but it just comes off. He just comes off as snooty, really. I mean, he comes off as an asshole jock rather than a guy that's huge and is going to save the day. You know.
Well, a perfect example is like there's a scene in this movie like he's. I don't remember what he's doing. He's doing something. He's talking to Schwarzenegger and he's trying to come up with these dialogue that tries to make him look really awesome or something. And then there's another scene, but to show you the contrast, like he's trying to be awesome and it just comes off as cheesy. But there's a part where Schwarzenegger, he gets this big gun off a helicopter and he like turns the camera and this music goes, and it's corny, but it's badass. It works for him.
That's the thing, yeah.
But he's poking fun at himself because he knows it's a joke.
Yeah, and everything he says is hilarious. Like every word that comes out of Schwarzenegger's mouth. If you like The Last Stand, you'll love this. Every word that or you won't love the movie, but you'll love Schwarzenegger's performance. Every word he says just fucking cracks you up, like the whole movie. And some of it's meant to, some of it's not, and it's still not a bad acting job. Man, he's so damn charismatic that you just love everything the guy does.
He's got a comedy that's really subtle and underlying to his character. Like that's what it is. I mean, he's always had that. Like where he just his comedy is just really subtle.
But I think he's a better actor now than he used to be.
He is. I think once he got his old man sag tits, he was just like, I don't have to work out anymore. I'll eat ho-hos and Twinkies and still look awesome on camera. But
I was elected to lead, not to read.
You must be truly desperate to elect that guy. But anyway, I would have elected him for president if they could change the Constitution. But whatever, we're not going to get into politics. But I'm just saying, let's talk about the movie really quick. So
not because he's a right wing or anything like that.
Just
because he's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who wouldn't? I mean, seriously,
Demolition Man comes to life.
You could not fuck with him if he was in the White House. Seriously, like who the fuck? China? It's like I'll be back. We're gonna have changes. All right, I can't do a Schwarzenegger, but it'd be something like that. Anyhow, let's talk about the movie really quick because I feel like this is turning into a Stallone bash.
Yeah.
So the movie, Stallone plays a breakout artist. Basically, he's able to break into these or go into these maximum security prisons, and then somehow or another Houdini's himself out, and he basically is a part of this company that does this for a living, or he does it for a living, where he basically points out all their flaws in their security systems and hands it over and says, this is what you need to work on, whatever. But there's this new system, there's this new facility called the Tomb that they're building, and they want him to go and infiltrate it and then see if he can break out of it. But, bad things happen, he gets sabotaged, and now he's trying to actually find his way out because whoever put him there wants to keep him there for life. So that's the movie.
Yeah,
and he
and
meets Schwarzenegger and they team up.
It's got a good supporting cast too.
Oh,
You've got
God,
the
yeah.
chick from The Office, who's actually good. The blonde chick, she was in The Office
Yeah.
for a little bit. Jim Caviezel is good in the movie. He plays
He's
a villain,
great.
and he plays a cheesy '80s action movie version of Guy Pearce in Lawless.
But yeah,
like
but-
he's crazy.
I know, but you know what? He was great about him though. He's cold, calculated, and analytical about his whole character. That's what was awesome, and it's kind of scary because you didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Like he's all about it, but
He's
it's just,
analytical and he has an elliptical.
and he was Jesus, so something happened.
But yeah, no, he goes full scale on
I
this.
know.
Like he doesn't hold back at all, and he does a good job.
And Sam Neill.
Sam Neill's in it,
I
but
know.
his character is like we can't talk about that going to way spoilers, but it was just so pointless and like he was just gone.
Yeah, Sam Neill made no sense in this movie. And it sucks because Sam Neill's a great actor and they just wasted it. And then
Yeah.
you got 50 Cent, which is, by the way, the most idiotic. I don't know why you put him in this movie because he literally has nothing to do in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be a computer tech guy. No. And then second off, he's going to be like tapping a few keys and every once in a while say motherfucker. And that's his whole thing.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden he goes from like they want him to be this clean cut like office guy or whatever.
Geeky
It's like
tech.
and then all of a sudden like the ghetto comes out of him. he's like you motherfucker. It was like a calm scene. He was like, well, we'll get him out of there when we get him out of there. And he was like, I'll kill you, motherfucker, and like slap something off his desk. And it's just like, what the fuck?
But you should have found him in the club.
It's not-
He's not even should be there.
You can't. I mean, he's not terrible in the movie, but he doesn't even he's not even given a chance to be terrible. He's there, but he's like their secretary. I mean,
Yeah.
like, what's the fucking point?
I get what they were trying to do with him, but I would have actually given him a part that he fit. You know,
Yeah.
make him a con or something in prison that he needs. I'm not
What are you
trying to. I'm not
say?
profiling.
No,
I'm not
I know
profiling. I'm
what
just saying.
You're saying because most of the movie took place in the jail.
He's a big built guy.
Put him in as a con because he'd have more of a chance to have an actual role. Like he's out in this outside world that we only pan to for like 5 minutes in the movie.
Okay, but or even if you want to keep him as a tech savvy kind of guy, then make him in the prison, make him a tech savvy guy, but he's also like a badass prisoner or something like that that helps Stallone on the inside out, or something like that. I don't know.
And but I don't think he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's not.
But he, like I said, he's not getting a chance to be terrible in this. And Vincent D'Onofrio's in this in another
Yeah.
like small role that like he's way better than.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I don't know how that guy's like underused as shit. Like he's on like like little snippets of scenes and what he was in
like
what was that?
Sinister.
Sinister, yeah. Bagoo. That's all I mean. He was like, that was a great part. When,
Sugar Water and Men in Black.
Yeah. What happened? I don't know. But yeah, so the overall theme of the movie is awesome. It sounds really cool, but they just dropped the fucking ball here. I guess they went out and got a pizza and they were just like, let's just like leave this old score. By the way, the score sucks dick.
It puts you straight to sleep.
It's the
And
worst.
so is Mikhail Abstrom's direction of this movie. It's just like he wanted. He didn't know what the hell he was making. Like
Yeah.
he was making this ultra serious like heist with these deep twists and turns and like
There was
all
no
this
twists.
planning and shit like that. And it's so unbelievable from the get go. Like the whole premise is just stupid to me. Like it's every single thing that he does to escape these prisons. It's like, well, if one thing would have went wrong there, that would have went. And I get it's supposed to be a stupid action movie, but it's not a stupid action movie.
Yeah.
They try to make it a smart movie and they try to add all this shit to it, and it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And you're bored. And you don't want to go to this movie to be bored.
Yeah.
You want to go see Arnold Schwarzenegger with Uzis,
That's what I wanted to
and
see.
you don't get that till the end of the movie.
Or fuck, I would have settled for fucking Stallone putting on Rocky gloves and punching his way out of the prison. Something that would have given me excitement.
I know.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that the overall theme is not. I don't think it was an intelligent scope of the movie. It's not like it wasn't meant to be intelligent, but it sounds cool on paper. Like get Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone, get them in a prison together. They got to break out, and they're being chased down by the guards to prevent them from doing this. That sounds badass on paper, but the way it was utilized and implemented sucked.
Yeah.
And that score sounded like the leftover shit that they had in Mission Impossible. Like the stuff
It
that
really was
it does,
generic,
but it was like in Mission Impossible, and it was cool music. That was cool music back then, and it's still cool music now. It holds up. But it was like the shit that they left on the cutting floor at Mission Impossible.
But it
was like,
actually sounded like Mission Impossible.
I know, but I'm saying it was like
In a bad way.
it was like the leftover turds that they left on the cutting room floor. And like, we're not going to use that music,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, can we?
Yeah.
and it's like, something with it.
The direction is so boring. The only good parts of this movie, for the most part, are when Stallone and Schwarzenegger interact, and those parts are pretty cool. Like you get the jokes and stuff going on between the two of them, and you'll laugh your ass off at certain parts.
But I thought
of that. And it's
Schwarzenegger
just cool to
outshone
see
him
him.
that.
Yeah, he did. He did. I thought
it's-
Schwarzenegger stole the movie.
Yeah, and it's surprising because that Stallone can interact in a comedy action movie because he did it with Kurt Russell in Tango and Cash, which was an amazing movie, and they interacted really well and they bounced jokes off each other. This one,
But again, he was so focused on being like.
yeah,
you know,
man, he was all right in that movie because actually Kurt Russell made fun of him for being
Yeah.
like that, so it fit his character. But in this movie, it's like they're both supposed to be in the same kind of boat, but Schwarzenegger is like stealing every scene. Like every joke that Stallone even tries to pull off is stupid.
Yeah.
He was like, there's like one scene, he was like, it makes no sense because Schwarzenegger's like, any family legal dudes, I could get it for you. Like, it's just funny the way he said it, and then, Stallone's like, oh, Mr. Favor Man. Like, it just, are you trying to be cool? I don't know.
I don't know. That's the thing. That seems like he's trying to be cool.
I know.
And the thing about it is, though, it's just boring. And the main thing I'll say this week is just boring. The whole middle chunk of the movie is just, and the beginning's boring. So, I mean, really, the only saving grace, like I said, is the comedy with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and just seeing those two on screen together is pretty cool.
Every once in a while, like, an action scene would be okay. Like, every
just
once
for
in a
a
while.
second,
Yeah, it would be like that.
But the end of the movie is fucking badass.
Oh, yeah, the end of the movie was great. I love that. Yeah.
It was a short little scene, and the whole movie should have been that way. But it was just this perfect, like, right at the very end when they're escaping. And it's almost like he was like, we're going to have master schematics, and it's going to be like the Italian Job meets Ocean's 11 meets all this shit like that. And at the end, like, the whole, like, thing just cluttered down. Like, he was playing Jenga, and the fucking set fell. He was like, fuck it, let's just run it by the mill and have him running away from 30 people shooting at him. But all of a sudden, no one can shoot. Let's go back to that tactic real quick.
Well, let's find out. Basically, you get a little. They don't really give any kind of characterization behind Stallone. They give a little bit of why his motives for doing certain things, but they never flesh him out, and he just seems like whatever. And it didn't even make sense to me. And this is not a spoiler review, and this is not going to spoil it, but. They asked Stallone, I'm not going to tell you exactly why he became what he became, but they asked at one point, what kind of man wants to go into a prison to break out prisons for a living? And he was like saying, I was a prosecutor and I want to make sure the bad guys stay locked up. But he's able to do all this fucking crazy shit, and he's a prosecuting attorney. Now, how do you go from being a prosecuting attorney, and most attorneys I know can't do this shit, and he's able to Houdini out of places. He can like shoot perfectly. He's buff and badass. Like, where did you go?
Able to hang off of a helicopter and shoot one person on a boat from like 100 yards away.
Actually, I
like Mel Gibson via Lethal Weapon.
I guess
the helicopter's rolling.
He would be my defense attorney. I was like, my motherfucking defense attorney will whip your ass. Yeah. But he was. I'm saying, but they didn't. Maybe you could have at least said, okay, he had Black Ops training before he became a lawyer, and that's how he learned all this stuff.
Yeah, and I know what you're gonna say. It's a stupid, cheesy action movie. There's gonna have plot holes in it. But the thing is that they tried, like I said, they tried to not make it a cheesy action movie until the very end, and that's when it got fun, when they finally just realized what people are here for, and the explosions and the fight scenes and the over the top action and cheesy one.
But it's not asking for much. It can be a cheesy like throwback movie. I get that, but I mean, give me some spice on my steak. I mean, I can give me a steak, but you want a little A1.
Well, at least, I mean, even though these cheesy action movies are cheesy and they have stupid plots and like Schwarzenegger will take out 30 people by himself or whatever, the point is that like you like the character. The character's badass.
The story is
like that he does stuff that's awesome and he's cool. Like the main two characters had no good backstory.
They didn't even have. I don't even think they really had good chemistry on screen. At certain scenes they did. Other scenes it just seemed like it's not like Schwarzenegger was trying to make it funnier and trying to make it more lighthearted and make it like that kind of what he was known for, like comedy action kind of stuff. Yeah. Balance it, and it was like Stallone didn't want to. Yeah. Stallone was like, no, you got to stay in like badass. Like you got to keep it like this.
Stallone went home at the end of the day and was like, this guy he wants to be a clown. He wants to have fun. I'm not even trying to do myself as Stallone accent, but yeah. So bottom line, I really wanted to love this movie. I love these kinds of movies. I thought The Last Stand was fucking epic. It was awesome.
I loved it.
But ultimately, just for Schwarzenegger and the ending scene, that's all I liked about this movie, complete and total. And I'm going to give it a 5.5.
I'm going to give it a 6.0, a little slightly higher, not much more, and it's really the same thing. Schwarzenegger's great in this. I love Jim Caviezel. I thought he was an amazing bad guy. I wish that he could have had more screen time. He had a lot of screen time, but I wish they could have used him better. And I thought Sam Neill was great too, even like the little tiniest part that he was in. I think that
it's just because it's Sam Neill.
I know, and I love Sam Neill. But and overall, the story sounded good, but on paper, it sounded good on paper, but in reality, it sucked. Like they just did not know what they had. I guess.
I wanted Sam Neill to be like, look at these dinosaur bones.
My God, that was one big pile of shit. But so that's exactly what this movie was. Is one big pile of shit. It's just boring, completely boring. It saddens me because it makes you think like, all right, maybe Stallone should hang it up. I mean, if you keep on making turds like this, you can't expect that you're going to keep on like keep on keeping on. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I won't say that quite as much, but
I don't think Stallone.
I loved the thought of it.
The idea, but I think if Stallone keeps making these kind of movies where he wants to pretend that he's still all badass like all the time and he doesn't want to take any risks or chances, like Schwarzenegger's all about taking chances now. He just doesn't care. I just don't think it's going to be good for him.
I agree. I can see that totally. And I mean, he's got Grudge Match coming out, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's going to be good. That's one movie that. When was the last comedy you could think of? Don't Stop or My Mom Will Shoot was the last comedy that I ever remember Stallone being in.
Off the top of my head, yeah.
And De Niro is going to be in this, and it's obviously going to be, I know, and it's obviously going to be a comedy about boxing, so hopefully that'll turn it around for him.
Yeah, so, I mean, and the thing about it is that we have a question of the day, and what is it? If you guys could see any two of your favorite all-time action stars paired up in a movie together, who would they be?
Seagal and Van Damme.
Easy. That would be mine, too.
And
I just want to see them fight for 2 hours.
I would like to see them actually buddy cop hate relationship. Like, I would love that.
What if they remade Lethal Weapon?
I would love to see it, because they would hate the fuck out of each other for real. Because Van Damme was like, don't talk to me like that. And he was like, get your hands on my face.
It's kind of like Glimmerman, only you place Ivory Wayans with the other one. Deer Penis?
Dippiness.
Some dippiness. So, anyways, guys, I'm Mike.
Missed out my shit.
We'll see you guys next time on Watch the Movie.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We